Well, most British Columbians associate the name Pattullo with a busy bridge in Vancouver. That bridge was named after former BC Premier Thomas Dufferin Pattullo. But not that many know that his uncle, Thomas Robson Pattullo, was one of the richest men of the BC gold rush.
In 1858, reports of gold on the Fraser River brought 20,000 miners to this corner of the world, including Thomas Robson Pattullo.
He came through San Francisco, and we know for sure that he was on Williams Creek in 1861. And from that point onward, he made all kinds of arrangements and purchases and partnerships.
And Pattullo staked claims on some of the richest ground in the Cariboo and lived large for 17 years.
People in the Cariboo Gold Rush who's identifiable in photographs, and he appears here in our exhibition in this photograph right above the pickaxe.
In many photos, he's dressed to the nines. In others, he's a proud prospector.
And he always called himself a miner, right up until the end.
Pattullo made fortunes and then spent them in Victoria or New Westminster when bad weather or bad fortune hit the interior.
Thomas Pattullo was a great person to be around in the bar.
And the $300 bar tab owed by his estate proves it.
And he also was a generous man. He canvassed for people who were ill and needed to be sent home. For instance, in Barkerville, the doctor hadn't been paid for a whole year. There really was no safety net. There was a case where they raised over $2,000 to help a man go back to Canada West, as Ontario was called in those days.
A huge amount of money in the mid-1860s.
A great personality, but also in no small part a proponent of Confederation with Canada. So even before British Columbia joined Confederation in 1871, the Canadians in Barkerville were celebrating Dominion Day.
Over Christmas 1878, Pattullo caught a terrible cold that became pneumonia. He died in early January 1879 at age 41.
And in the last 5 days of his life, he was on the hook for 60 drinks, 40 of them on January 1st.
Thomas Robson Pattullo, a charismatic personality from BC's Gold Rush.
This Week in History, brought to you by the Royal BC Museum, celebrating 130 years.